In 1999, The Sixth Sense was the thriller of the year, and a 29-year-old director by the name of M. Night Shyamalan became known as the next Hitchcock. 12 years, 11 films, and 4 Golden Razzies later, it's safe to assume that title has been revoked, and yet his films seem to get more critical attention as his career continues. What's going on? Hear me out. What if M. Night Shyamalan is the new Ed Wood? Edward Davis Wood Jr. was born in 1924. After serving in the Marines following the Pearl Harbor attacks, Wood moved to Hollywood where he wrote and directed multiple projects that he failed to sell. After a chance encounter with a down-on-his-luck Bela Lugosi, they struck up an unlikely friendship. Through their connection, Ed was encouraged to make more films, and within a year he made Glenn or Glenda, a semi-autobiographical film that allowed Ed Wood to come out as a quote-unquote cross-dresser. It was highly progressive, incredibly personal, fearless, and a critical and audience failure. Wood continued to make films that made no impact at the time, like Jailbait, Bride of the Monster, and his most infamous film, Plan 9 from Outer Space. In 1980, just 2 years after his death, the book The Golden Turkey Awards was released and declared Plan 9 the worst film ever made. Rather than bury Ed Wood into obscurity, it put a spotlight on his passion projects, and they remain cult classics to this day. M. Night Shyamalan, Hollywood's favorite Philly-phile, burst onto the scene right out of film school. The Sixth Sense is one of those movies that changed how movies were made. PG-13 horror became commonplace, twists became trendy, and Shyamalan was immediately deemed a Hollywood golden boy. Over time, it became clear that Shyamalan's ambition was greater than his execution. Each film showed more cracks in the worlds he built. Baffling performances by well-established actors began to emerge. Shyamalan seemed insistent to insert himself in every film. How was he pulling this off? His cinematography is often innovative and captivating. And then we get moments like this?
So I suggest no one take that road.
There's a town about 8 miles behind us. There were bodies on the road into town.
Cheese and crackers.
Both Wood and Shyamalan will have an audience delighted by their innovation and determination, but in a world where glitz and glamour are synonymous with movies, their flaws created an almost uncanny valley effect. Each film is a roller coaster of emotions, but not for the reasons the creators intended. It's as if we're entering the Twilight Zone, but there's no Rod Serling to find us a safe passage through. Both directors laughed in the face of mockery and hustled their way through Hollywood. Between 1998 and 2021, M. Night was tied to 16 projects, which breaks down to roughly a film every year and a half. Meanwhile, in the case of Ed Wood between 1953, when Glenn or Glenda was released, and 1960, Ed Wood made 9 feature films. When Hollywood didn't believe in them, they found financing no matter what. If that meant getting baptized to finance a movie about aliens raising the dead for global domination, or building his own studio in Pennsylvania to produce a weird post-apocalyptic action film starring the Smith family, these dudes got their projects made in any way necessary. There are no studios making notes. There are no focus groups. There's also no collaboration. These two directors carved out their own sanctuaries and wore all the hats. Side note, for an even greater example of this, look up Tyler Perry's whole operation. That's a whole nother video right there. They surround themselves with whoever will band together to make one man's vision a reality, come hell or high water. This is raw, passionate filmmaking. Critics and audiences be damned. So what do you think? Is M. Night channeling the spirit of Ed Wood? Is he a misunderstood genius or someone who won the lottery early in their career and can just play? We want to hear you out, so comment below. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on that bell. For early access and bonus content, become a Patreon subscriber. Oh, and one quick editor's note. The Happening is my favorite Shyamalan movie because I have only ever watched it with riff tracks, a commentary track that makes it a truly enjoyable watch. Highly recommend it. Okay, bye!